Hey you guys, this is how I plan my weekly homeschool and the first month of school. And this is the fourth in a 4-part series of how I plan in general. The end of the video will also cover what Morgan and I are using for our planners because I've gone through several of them. I made 2 each and they didn't work out, and we finally moved to something completely different. I tried it, Morgan liked it, and so we made one for her as well. So we'll cover that at the end of the video. Here it goes. Here's where I'm going to plan for this coming few weeks. And the first few weeks of school are going to be different for us. Essentially, the first month we will build into our full program because there is a lot. And we have some new curriculum. If this was the same, if we had all the same stuff as last year, just the next level, it wouldn't be a big deal. But I've got enough differences to feel like I need to stagger and build up to the 4th week. So here's our start date, and then 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And then by the 2nd of September, we should be rolling. We should know exactly what we're doing. So this is where I had started. That was the first series. And then the second video in the series filled in the unit studies around our days off. So I know the major muscle groups and major muscle movements that I've got going on. And then I drew out an idea of what our week looks like. Now you'd think I'd be done, except I want to build up for this month. And here's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to write it out. Since we have new curricula, what I want to do is obviously always start with our core, which is math, French, and reading. I also want to make sure that we use our time with French very well because the next week starts the Well-Trained Mind Academy French. And so I really want to make sure that we have any gaps filled in or we cover all of the review that we need to review. And then in the first week also, I want Morgan to begin defining her morning routine. And here she does reading. Then the third thing that I want to do in the first week, this is week 1, is have Morgan choose the book she's going to read. And also I want her to choose the literature read aloud that we're going to do together at night. And something new this year is a band camp. So the first week, every day is going to be a band as well. All right, that's what we're going to start with. Week 1 is math, French, and reading. I'll have Morgan define her morning routine and start getting it organized however she wants to do it. And then she'll pick her book that she'll start to read, and then she'll pick our literature read aloud, the first one that we're going to do, and we will start that the Sunday following the first day of school. That's it. There's no extra stuff in the first week. All right, week 2. It's not a unit study, but we will do our first week to prep for World School. Because after we do this, we're going to purchase tickets and lock it in. In week 2, we have decided that we're going to go. We've decided when we're going to go, where we're going to go, and then a few things that we want to do while we're there so that we have some idea in the next time that we take a week in the afternoons to plan for World School. We have some things that we want to research together, or I have an idea of what Morgan's interested in and I give her things to research. We will also start Story of the World, and I swear I spell this differently every single time. Sometimes it's S-T-O-W, sometimes it's S-W-O-T. But this is the Well-Trained Mind's Story of the World, and we will begin doing this on Monday nights. And in week 2, that's the first week of the Well-Trained Minds Academy school. That's where they start. And this is where Morgan will begin her actual French classes. And so that's it there. So it's everything here and then this on top of it. And we'll go to week 3. Now we're going to add in the grammar. and we're doing 2 still. And instead of Fix-It grammar, we're moving to Michael Clay Thompson grammar. Morgan was doing Fix-It by herself every day, but Michael Clay Thompson grammar is a little different, so we'll be doing that together a couple of days a week. And we will start in with the Well-Trained Mind purple book. We could have started with any color. Morgan chose purple. These aren't things that are every day, but they are weekly and they slowly build. And this is kind of an exciting week for us because in this week, this is our first main lesson from Waldorf. And we will begin 2 weeks of geography per, let's see. So here's where we are. We did our start with just core, and then the world school on top of that. And then now we're here for geography, week 3. And here is also something I'm excited to do all this stuff. I'm really looking to adding in creative writing again. And I'll show you all of these books in just a second. After I'm done writing it out, I'll show you how we add everything in the week, and then also our planner. So creative writing here, we'll start it in week 3. It doesn't have to be every day. Now, okay, week 4, final week. And this is where, by the 4th week, Morgan should have figured out her morning routine, how she wants it, what she wants to do, and how long it'll kind of generally take her. We will have finished our first Waldorf geography main lesson by the end of this week here. And then this one is for me. This is my homework to do. I need to really prep for the next main lesson. And we're doing man and animal. So here, this plan takes you through the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week. And right around here and over the weekend, I will plan for our 3 weeks of man and animal and go from there. So let me show you the books then. So with this in mind, for week 1, we start with our core subjects, math, French, and reading. Here is the math that we have already started, and we'll continue on. This is the French book that we had already used and gone through it all. And so Morgan, this first week, will be really prepping by reviewing everything that we've already done. Oh, and one thing that I had forgotten, I am going to put this in. So this is, I think I've shown you this before, and I don't think it's going to take that long. Morgan's pretty good at writing a paragraph without knowing that she's writing a paragraph. I think a lot of writing comes naturally. We don't have to push it or create too many rules around it initially. I like to see where she goes first. And this is kind of a fun thing though to build on, to just prep, to review how to write a sentence and how to write paragraphs. And I think that'll be fun for her. Morgan will define her schedule and routine, and then she'll choose her book. I think she's already chosen it. I'm pretty sure it's The Paper Museum. She found it the last time we were in Barnes & Noble. It looks pretty interesting, and so I got it for her, and she wants to begin reading it and making it her first private read for school. Then she will get to pick her literature read aloud, and I have 3 selections for her. She can either choose to have me read to her The Birds by Daphne du Maurier. She's famous in her own right, but as we all know, Alfred Hitchcock made the short story The Birds famous. And Binti is a short story by Nnedi Okorafor. I love this series. It's a series of 3, and I offered to read this to Morgan, and she's looking forward to it. I'm not sure if she'll pick that one yet. She might pick that one. And then there's both The Man Who Could Be King and Rikki Tikki Tavi, but I'll read Rikki Tikki Tavi to her. So she can choose from that one, Binti, and The Birds. 2 of them are essentially short stories, these 2, and this is a novella. This is only it's not even 100 pages long. It's packed. It's just so good. So that's the first week. Then in our 2nd week for prepping for World School, I had shown you guys this in one of the books that I had made or put it in my planner. And it's a planner I'm not going to use, but I'll use this for Morgan and I. They're at Cornell Notes style to get Morgan used to the the layout, and we will begin our first week of world schooling. Then we will add in addition to what we have the first week, we'll begin on Monday nights. I'll read 2 chapters of Story of the World. This is the French that we did last year with her tutor from Alliance Française. This year, it's kind of a shame we're not going to use the same book. We're going to, the Well-Trained Mind Academy uses this one. They're almost identical. They look very similar. They are very similar, but this is the one that they go with. And so I bought new books, as well as they're going to go through Le Petit Prince together. And this book is really cool. I hadn't seen this before, and I was looking through it, and not only does it have nice chapters in French, it's got comprehension questions and Q&A all in French. So I'm really excited for Morgan to read the book. I think it's great that this class will get to the point where they can read this. Let's see, for week 3, we'll put that here. It's everything from week 1 and 2. And then we start our geography unit, which is the main lesson from Live Education. And then we will add in, and I wrote first semester, so I didn't forget to mention this, but we have level 1 5-finger exercises, creative writer. And this has both creative writing and poetry writing. But I also had purchased this book. Here's the book, and this is the workbook. And Morgan really likes it. She is working through it. And so I thought, well, gosh, let's just do this semester. So for the first semester, we'll continue on with how to write a novel before you're 13, and then move on to creative writer. And we don't have to finish this year. We can do the first half and then continue on, do the second half either in the summer, or I think we're going to go year-round education anyway. So we'll just keep plugging along with it. But that's the plan. So this is not off the table. We are going to do this next. This is a lot. And so we're going to do it one after the other instead of at the same, well, we were never going to do that at the same time. That's too much. And initially I had planned to do Fix It Grammar with Morgan. She had finished level 1, and level 2 is Town Mouse and Country Mouse. It's great. It is. We've got no complaints. It's super. The thing is, the vocabulary is just a little too easy for her. And so what I did some research and found that Michael Clay Thompson's grammar books are very similar. And let's see, here's her workbook. They're very similar. They have the sentence, but it breaks it down in 4 different parts. And I really like the vocabulary. The vocabulary is just a little bit higher level, and Morgan's vocabulary far exceeds her spelling, as you will see soon, because we're going to add spelling in here too. And that's okay. It doesn't matter if she knows how to spell commissioners. I don't care if she is good at a spelling bee. I don't care if she can spell exquisite. I'd like her to be able to, but I want her to know it. I want her to know how to use it. And she loves vocabulary. She's interested in it. And for that reason, we have chosen to go with Michael Clay Thompson this year. And with that, we'll add on our grammar. So it gets a little bit more complicated once you leave the other books, the early beginner books for here. And this is the core instructor text for all 4 of the next years. You only need one. You need to buy this one. And then the color-coded books, there's purple, red, yellow, and blue. I only bought the key. Everything else is PDF, mainly because you can buy one for all the family, and Morgan and I like to do this together, and so I thought, well, I'll do it too. So I got the PDF so I could print out a copy for each, and we can each work on diagramming sentences together. This will not be every day. It'll probably be once a week. In week 4, Morgan solidifies her routine, and let's see, there's a lot of books here. I had purchased these, and I think I showed you in an earlier video. Oh yeah, it arrived when I was doing the homeschool haul. And these are 9 by 12, and I got them as a pack. They were incredibly inexpensive on Amazon. Very thick for watercolor pages, and really, really big. I'd pan out, but then I don't want to mess with the camera. But this is what we'll use for our main lessons in Waldorf and probably for everything else. There's 76 pages. So we're not going to do one book per main lesson. We're going to put everything in here so that every year we have something to look at and we can flip through and see what we've done. So we're going to start using these with the geography main lesson for Waldorf with live education. I need to prep myself for the live education's next main lesson, human and animal. And this involves form drawing because there's a lot of drawing. Because of that, I purchased for myself Painting and Drawing in Waldorf Schools and the Artist's Color Manual. So these are things that I will be referencing. And if you're interested in this, honestly, Pepper and Pine is fantastic. Hannah on her channel, she just is very uplifting and encouraging. And so we're kind of following in her footsteps because she makes it look very interesting. And that's why I want to do these lessons as well as the science lessons for Waldorf education that I was already interested in. And since we're adding in writing, here will be Morgan's journal. She'll start doing her own journaling in the morning. And our one sentence a day, we already did 1 year, and it's so funny because we're starting to write in our journal and see from that day, the year before, and read it aloud, and they're so funny. So this one's Morgan's, it's really little, and she can have it for 5 years. And then this one is mine. And some of it's kind of sad. You know, there's some sad things that happened last year. We lost our brother-in-law, and that was super sad, and it's in there, and it really brings things back to life when it's not just about laughing and humor, but there's some sad things in here and we'll never forget them. This is a vocabulary cartoon of the day that I thought Morgan might be interested in. She can work through this. She can do it on Fridays or she can do it any morning, any of the mornings during her quiet morning. And then this is Morgan's spelling. So she had started with level 3 and now we're going through level 4. This is really helpful. Her vocabulary is out of sight and her spelling is catching up. So that's what we're doing. We're just moving on. Now, how do we translate all of this into a daily planner? Well, I had worked on a few and they didn't work out for me. And I just decided to go with the traveler's notebook style. And this is the regular size, but I made my own. So I just found a how-to on YouTube and I created my own and bought my own leather and bought my own 2mm elastic and created what really is going to work for me. So I can put all of my stuff in here. And this is the weekly planner. And the weekly planner is good for, let's see, I think it's just per semester because there aren't enough weeks for the year. And so then each week you'll see that I don't translate a lot into here. I just don't need to. I don't need to write lesson 5 whatever or math you see exercise 42. I just don't need to do that because I do keep track with all of our work using a portfolio for the end of the year. I keep that portfolio so I know where we are and what we're doing, where we're going. I just don't need to put it all in here. Just the major things or things I want to remember or think about, things that I want to not forget to add, for instance. And that's what I'll do week per week per week. And I had shown Morgan and she liked it so much that I made one for her. But this is what hers is going to look like. So she can then take one of these, and I printed out a bunch, and she can just washi tape it into her weekly planner. And when she's done, she can just check them off. So on Monday, maybe she didn't do creative writing, so she just X's it or leaves it blank. But by the end of the day, she can check off the things that she has done, and she can look and see her progress along the way of, yes, I did math every day. Yes, I did reading, or maybe we didn't do reading that Thursday. Maybe we were sick. It doesn't matter. But that's her progress that she can publish herself or print each day. Then I've got, let's see, how does this work? Then I have my monthly book. And in the monthly book, this has a really handy, this is my attendance sheet essentially. So I can write out what we have done and I can count the days at the bottom. So I know that I have a total, that I've completed the requirement for North Dakota. And so in here, I didn't use the School Nest's monthly pages at all last year. Maybe they were in the wrong place for me, or maybe they didn't look right, because I'm visually aesthetic. I need something to look a certain way for it to work for me. And this works for me. It's also the right size. I like how it's small, but then I can keep everything in here. And so I showed it to Morgan. She liked it so much. She asked if I could make her one. So I made her one. And she chose her own leather. She picked from all sorts. Hers is really soft. Hers is really nice. She picked her own elastics. I had purchased a whole bulk of elastics on Amazon. And so I told her pick whatever color you want. And she built it herself. I did the cutting because the leather needed to be cut down. So I did the cutting and measuring, but she punched the holes in the leather and then made her own. She's given me permission to show you her version. So this is her little thing. And what I like is that she's wrapped washi tape. So we're very mobile, and we'll be even more mobile this year. And so this is really handy because it's just grab and go. But she's wrapped her favorite washi tapes around a ruler so that she can carry washi tape without it while it's still flat. Sticky notes and a pencil and extra pencil leads. And then here is her weekly schedule. And then from there, she can just add, let's see, that's her junk book. Those are her little journal book. She can add these. She has a whole bunch of these. And each week, she can take one from the back of her file and put it into her week, and she knows what she needs to do and what she should expect from herself. And then this, I didn't think we should get a large one. I got a passport size instead of a regular size because regular is too big, I think. And then this can transfer into a smaller passport size. But this holds stickers, and the stickers, you can just unstick them and they don't lose their stickiness here. And so you can take some of your favorite stickers that you want along with you on your travels and peel them off and put them into your book and decorate as she goes. So that's hers. She did it all. She made it herself and put it how she wanted. And that's probably, I got her permission to walk through this. And then after that, these things can become very personal. And so probably I won't show this again unless she wants to show it. But this is our plan. It's small, it's portable, it's interchangeable. We can do anything with it. We can switch out elastics as we want, and it just works for us. And so that's our plan for this year and maybe forever. Oh, and then this is a cookie grease stain, which is fantastic because it gets its own patina. And so the fact that I stained my book first with cookie grease is very apropos. As always, I hope this generates ideas. I don't mean for you to do it exactly the way I do, but I know from my own experience that it helps me see how other people do things and how they plan. So from my homeschooled years, happy homeschooling. See ya.